Somebody just said that they were here for the puppies, and you're like so lucky because Theo's here with me right now.
Switch over to chat.
What chat?
Switch over, click restream.
Oh yeah, right here.
No.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the program updated, and it's doing all kinds of new fancy things, which I love. Kat, what's up, girl? Hey. So what do you think of Theo? Is he so cute?
So precious.
Oh my. He's so cute. I know. I told Chanel and Kat, but well, let's just say Kat is like the animal whisperer at my house.
Yes, I am.
Because I have this antisocial cat. My cat Malcolm was abused. I rescued him from like an abused family. People come over for some ungodly reason. He's like walking up to Kat, sitting next to her, which Kat is like highly allergic to cats. Cat's allergic to cats. That's ironic, right? The irony in that. I know, but he loved you, and Kat. I was like, Kat, this is weird. I don't know what's wrong with your energy, but like, anyway, Theo. I told Chanel I had Theo. You know, I had texted her a picture, and she's like, okay, I'm be right back. Getting on a plane on my way back to Vegas right now. I'm like, okay, come on back. So I know he's right here. So last night he actually slept by himself, which is a big deal because the night before he was really scared. He's starting to kind of get comfortable. And at 7 o'clock though this morning he was cold and he wanted to cuddle with mom. So we cuddled and went back to bed for like an hour, didn't we? Yeah. So he's my buddy. Blake, I'm going to put Theo down if you want to come get him. Okay, Theo. He's not the biggest like snuggly cuddler. I think he just has a lot of energy because he's little. Oh my goodness. So Kat and I were going to do this stream. God, Kat, wasn't it like a couple weeks ago? And we filming got crazy, pre-filming, pre-prep, all that pre-production got really crazy. And I was like, we're going to have to cancel it temporarily. And Harley was sick, obviously, at the time. And I was like, I really want to go back and revisit this topic because Kat and I, at the same time, got like really obsessed with light work for like separate reasons. Kat started getting really into like numerology and like seeing repetitive patterns of numbers like 111, 222, 333, and that's where hers kind of got triggered. But in the same month, my dad had gotten sick and he was dying, and I was like, you know what, I'm just ready to let go of the past. And for some reason, although Kat and I were on separate journeys, we both got into this at the same time. So you were like me. You're like, it's time to, like, the veil is lifting. It was about October of last year. And we're like, oh my God, this light work stuff. We started researching it. What did you like get? What drew you to it immediately?
Honestly, I really just like the numerology aspect of it. I find it really fascinating when certain situations happen in your life and you're able to kind of see that you're on the right path by seeing these repetitive numbers happen, like validation. I really got into that, so that's what I like about it.
So we both found Audrey about at the same time. So first, let's. I know she's amazing. She's kind of like she's like a Bible in a sense of light workers. A light worker. Let's kind of define that. Maybe Kat and I will like have different input that we can put in together. A light worker is for people like empaths or people that are psychic or mediums or sensitive. And a light worker is able to kind of verbalize the energy going on in the atmosphere. I assume they use things like astrology, numerology, moon placement, right? Like planet placement, like Mercury and Venus and all that stuff when there's different retrogrades going on or just when there's movement happening. And they also interpret, I think, Earth's energy, such as like global warming, things, stuff like that. And then they're able to verbalize it into what we're feeling as empaths. Is that, how would you explain it? Do you think that's pretty accurate?
Yeah, that's pretty much hits the nail on the head. It's essentially a way to help heal yourself and others.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with Audrey, she has so much knowledge. And it's so strange because you and I and Chanel as well, we'll go through certain things and then all of a sudden Audrey speaks about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like an emotion we're having, or wow, I have a really big headache today, and she talks about, like
Mm-hmm.
play-by-play of what's gonna happen.
And I want to share who we're talking about right now. So, and it's so weird because like once Kat and I started researching light workers, energy healing, energy manifestations, you can kind of call it like energy alchemy, right? Suddenly this like all the doors started opening for Kat and I, which I feel like that's that universal pull. Like when you put it out there, you want to learn about it. You know what I'm saying? So who we're talking about, I'm going to show the profile on my iPhone. Her name is Audrey Kitching, okay? Audrey Kitching, Kitching. Her handle is at Audrey Kitching, no spaces for her Twitter handle. This is what her Twitter looks like. Let's see if I can get it on here. How's audio, Blake? Is everything okay?
Yeah, Theo is under your feet.
Is he? Do you want me to move or is he okay?
Just a little.
Sorry, Theo's under my feet. So anyway, that's Audrey. She is in Pennsylvania, which I think is what Chanel loved, because Chanel is also in Pennsylvania. But she titles herself as an artist, a crystal healer, and an energy alchemist. Now, she also sells things like crystals on her website and stuff like that she gets in. She makes really cool stuff. She's constantly tweeting about her art. So just as like positive motivation, because I'm all about being positive, she's a wonderful person, in my opinion, to follow. But yeah, like what Kat said, we'll be like discuss, like on set, this happened several times. You, me, and Chanel are sitting there and we're like, okay, the energy today is, it feels like this. And then all this, we all have her notification tweets on, and she'll tweet and we're all like, oh my God, she just tweeted what we said we were feeling. And it's like validation of like, oh, I'm so calm. I know what I'm feeling and sensing, and it's right.
And you know what's even cooler? I can't tell you how many times we were out doing something, like on set, and you know, we decided to switch things up, and I would look down at my phone or look at a clock and it was saying 111 or 111, and I'm like, you know, 11:11, and it was so cool to experience that, because it's just the universe working through all of us and telling us, yep, you're doing it right.
And I wasn't really as into, I am now, I wasn't paying attention to it. So like Kat has been talking about this for months, like 111, 222, all this stuff. And like Chanel definitely pays attention to it. I just wasn't. And I'm assuming I work at a very fast speed. The girls know that. Like clearly as the EP, I'm involved in every single aspect of the series, and it's a lot, right? So sometimes my life moves really fast, right? And I don't pay attention to the little things. So when I was on set with Kat, she starts pointing out, like, we would be at lunch, or we would be, eating as a crew or whatever. And she'd be like, Krystal, it's 444. And I'd look down. And then pretty soon I started doing it.
Yeah.
I would sporadically be like, Kat, it's 444. And she'd be like, I'm so proud of you.
It's true, like, with anything, you know, it's essentially when you ask the universe for something, it manifests, right? You believe in something enough, it will come to fruition. And it's the same thing with numerology and seeing those numbers. And, you know, when you allow yourself to understand more about it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it just happens.
Mm-hmm.
You see it,
It is. Well, and so do you have you have a list, don't you, of the numerology of what they mean? Do you have access to it? Or is that so cuz Kat, like, as much as we love this like whole 111 thing, thank you. You have Theo. Something wrong? My volume low? Okay. Volume was a little low, so Blake's fixing it.
Mine, or was it yours?
I think it was your side because it's audio. It's desktop audio, but you should be fine. Once you keep chatting with me, they'll talk.
Okay.
You know, and Blake will come fix it if need be.
Yeah.
So Kat literally in her phone made notes.
I know.
Listed like what all of these like number signs and symbols mean, and Chanel and I got to the point where like Chanel would be like, I'm seeing 333. Oh, here's the weird thing with Chanel. There was a day that Chanel's entire like being of existence was surrounded by 333 while she was here in Vegas. It was the first day she came in, wasn't it?
Yes.
So Chanel came in last, and Kat went with me to pick her up, and we were shocked to see that even down to her flight number was 333. And Chanel's like, it was so weird. I realized when I got on the plane, my flight number was 333. She's so funny. And like everything that next day was like threes for Chanel. It was so weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I have it here.
Oh, good. I want to hear. So everybody pay attention to what Kat's saying, because these are like, if you see those like those repetitive numbers, 111, 222, these are the definitions of each one.
Yeah, and a lot of them are very similar, but there's like little twists to them here and there. So 111 is essentially a wake-up call from the universe that something you've been asking for or praying for is going to come to fruition slowly, and to just continue to keep the faith with your spirit guides, or whoever you believe in, to just keep going. So I love that number because I see that one all the time as 1111 or 111. All right,
we saw that a lot together as a crew too.
Yes, yeah, which was really awesome to see. 222 quite often means that it's time to start paying attention to the people who are coming into your life. Relationship-wise, maybe you need to change your circle of friends. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that number and I've been kind of off and on about a friend in my circle or unsure about someone's intentions, and I'll see that number and say, okay, it's time to remove this person and trust your intuition. So that's really cool. All right, sorry, my phone's like
That's
glitchy.
been another thing with Kat and I. We've learned since October, I feel like you and I have been on a big path of learning to trust your gut instinct.
Yeah, and it's been working out great since we've done that. It's been really good. Okay, so 333. If you see the number 333, this is a Trinity number that comes up if you need to like align your body, your mind, and your soul. Essentially, it could be an alert from the universe telling you that there are some areas in your life that you need to balance out and show some more self-love. So I've been seeing that one here and there too.
That's 333.
That's 333.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was Chanel. Ooh.
Yep. 444. The number 4 means home and family in numerology. So when you see it 3 times or 4 times over, you need to start paying more attention to your inner circle. So essentially, it's a lot like 222, but it's a little bit more amplified, where something's really starting to get out of control and you really need to pay attention to it now, or it's going to affect you in the future. So it's like an extra oomph on 222 essentially, which is actually really cool because you think about it, it literally is doubled. 2 plus 2 is 4.
Right.
So if you see 444, that's literally amplified, saying, I gave you a warning before, you really need to pay attention now. Like, you still have an opportunity to fix this. So that's what that is. 555, which is actually what I was seeing a lot filming with the girls in Vegas. And if you see that number, it's pretty much a momentum to move in a new direction. That the things that you've been asking for, which is very similar to 111, but in this case with 555, it's going to be happening a lot quicker than expected. 111 means you're moving in the right direction, keep having faith, keep working towards your goals, whereas 555 is a literal manifestation that you need to be ready because something's going to happen quick. So that was very, very cool to see that.
Yeah,
with
we
the
all saw it constantly, like billboards. Yeah. It was really weird. Times on our phones, really weird signs. It was constantly 555. Because remember, this film set, we weren't sure how this shoot was going to go. I was essentially going to be using this as like a practice run, and it turned into one of the most perfect shoots I've ever had on set. And Kat, I know, sidetrack 1 minute. The evidence we got was just ridiculous.
It was.
It was
amazing.
Mind-blowing.
It was, but we already knew that going in, and that goes into our whole intuition conversation, to just trust your gut. And the way things happened, this door just flew open, and we ran with it, and it went flawlessly.
It did.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was really cool.
It was so good.
Essentially, actually, I have like 3 more or 4 more if you want me to touch on them.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so there is 666 is in the numerology book, essentially. It can be a really negative thing, but if you're looking at it from a light worker standpoint,
I mean, technically, so could 333, right? Like
that's true,
the
very true.
and,
you know,
like,
the witching hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
But with light work, it's not. We're not talking like demons and
it's different.
Yeah.
No, because you're manifesting light.
Right.
You know, I mean, nothing bad could come through something manifesting light.
Right.
So, if you do happen to see 666 as a light worker, it essentially means to bring your thoughts back into balance. Could mean maybe you've got too many projects going on and you need to start focusing on the one thing you're passionate about. Maybe even making more time for your friends if you've been too busy working. You know, so that's a universal sign to just kind of bring your center back and figure out what's priority in your life.
Maybe slow down.
Slow down is a good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 777 just means that good things are happening. Your life's going great. Everything is moving in the direction that it was intended.
Also,
that's pretty
it means
short,
you
sweet.
Hit the jackpot in Vegas.
Yeah, really. I guess so. That is really weird, huh?
It is.
How
Good
that
luck,
correlates
right?
in numerology. Yeah, absolutely.
That is really true. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. 888 means that a phase in your life is ending. So, you know, it could be the passing of a loved one, maybe that friend that you've gotten several notifications from the universe about from 222 or 444. Mm-hmm. You finally severed that cord, and, you know, you're working towards removing that energy from your life. So that's, I don't see that one often, which is, I guess, a good thing.
Right.
999 means that a phase in the life has been completed. So that's kind of like validation that you did the right thing, and now you can heal from whatever has been removed from your life or you removed specifically. And 000 is the last one, just means oneness, wholeness. It also means that maybe an idea or a feeling you had has come full circle. So, you know, that gut instinct you had about Joe at work was accurate.
Right.
You know, and that when you see that number, you can say, all right, I don't need to address it. I just know the universe is telling me that is correct. Mm-hmm. My gut instinct is correct.
And this is the light work that we're talking about too, is like, it's putting a lot of faith out in the universe, and honestly, it works. Yeah. It's worked for us. I even talked about it last night, which I think is a great segue from that live stream to this live stream. And in that stream, I said, you know, I found this new puppy. I was not clearly like planning on getting a dog. Mm-hmm. And I told the universe, if it works out, then let it be. And if it doesn't, then it's not meant to be. And what happened? I mean, so yeah. I don't know. I know it sounds really, really optimistic, but you, myself, Chanel, even Blake have been applying that to the point where now I feel like when you've totally let go and you open that door of like allowing the good to come in, or quote the light, mm-hmm. or the light work, it literally just starts pouring in, don't you think? It does. And that's the hardest part. It is not it's not easy at all to just let yourself go and trust that everything's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. It's not easy, you know, but once you're able to do that, and, you know, maybe you went through life lessons and tribulations that you just needed to go through before you let go. You know, we all are on our own different path here. You know, nobody's perfect and nobody's on the same path. But when you do finally open that door, it's like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? It's actually a lot less stress, because I feel like the biggest part is, and not even like talking about just a controlling person in general. People in general want to have control of their life, right? Like, that's not just being controlling. That's just being human. You know, right, like, I'm trying. I'm going to be in control of this. But I feel like that is the hardest part, is letting go of the control. Because you're so used to manipulating what your life is the way you want it. But I can't be the only one. Like, I feel like everyone's had instances in their life. For example, next week... my car registrations are due. Okay. Oh God. Yep. I have been trying to get the registrations complete all week. Okay. Right. I'm not the kind of person that likes to leave it till the last minute. Plus, I have a lot of work going on, right? Post-production and stuff. Literally, yeah. I've been calling Kat every day. I'm like, I cannot seem to get this done. So finally I was like, okay, I literally penciled it in my agenda for what I'm going to deal with it Monday morning, and I have let it go, because I'm like, clearly I am forcing something with the universe and it's not allowing it to happen. And I feel like that anybody can apply that to their life, right? I mean, haven't you had instances where you've tried to force something to happen. I know like a car registration is little, right? But like there's even bigger things you tried to force to happen and it doesn't work.
Can't.
It's because you can't force it to happen sometimes.
No. Yep. The universe is always in some sort of control. You know, I don't know if it's like fate, but they know what your path is supposed to be. And when you're on the right track, they will let you know numbers.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. But even if you're not, you know, into numerology or numbers, you can even just feel the change inside and see the difference, especially if you're with a more positive group, or, you know, you're not talking to certain family members because they're big energy vampires and you've just decided to like nicely let yourself go from that. You know, those are really big pats on the back that you should be proud of, for sure.
Well, and also, you know, Seth, who's our artist, I know everybody knows who Seth is. He does our Ghost Girl Diaries art. One thing Seth had taught me a while ago was sometimes you feel like, you know, the energy in the air, you manifest it. And you know when your quote, this is his quote, I'm leveling up. So haven't you ever been in life where you're like going, everything feels the same, and all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, whoa, I don't know what happened, but I just feel like something just changed, and not necessarily for the bad. It's like, I think I leveled up somehow, and I thought that was like the most appropriate term ever. Shout out to Seth.
That is true.
But I feel like even, you know, applying that to the light work aspect, it makes sense. Yeah, is like you're leveling up. You're leveling up as you go. And I mean, we've all had experiences even on set where we know we have to let go. There were some minor flukes we had on set, right? Yes. Minor, and they weren't major, they were minor, okay? Like, for example, I'll share this one. We brought one of our old, well, it's not really old, but it's a used TV that we use for our DVR system for like the 4X cams, okay? We did not test it before we left because we assumed it was just a DVR system and it would work. It was just like a regular computer monitor. But because we had 4K cams, we should have thought about that. It didn't work. It did not work. It was literally gray. It wouldn't even turn on. So what we wanted to do was we were prepared to investigate, right? We're like, okay, let's get this done. Let's go. But we can't because we don't have the monitor. So we ended up having to make like a last minute run to Walmart at like, you know, at nighttime to pick up another 4K monitor that we could use. It was a pain in the butt. But it's like that universal path where it's kind of like you have no choice. This is what you have to do, and the universe is telling us what we have to do, and that's it. And yeah, it's a little, you know, a kerfunkel. We have to like deal with it. It's like a little mountain we have to crawl over, not a major one. But you learn to kind of start going with the flow rather than constantly stressing or having like a breakdown over it.
Yeah, and I mean, I had other reasons too, I think, that it happened because I know, at least for me personally, when we got back, you know, from purchasing the TV, I felt rejuvenated. It was almost like I needed a reset outside of, you know, the location to be able to be fully ready for the investigation.
Well, and the energy before we left too was what I thought to be
very
negative
heavy,
or
very
angry or something.
It was very, I found it very odd that, you know, something happened for us we needed to leave to go and get, you know, take care of this as a crew. And when we came back, we were like, wow, we feel great.
Yeah.
You know, like we're ready.
Even that negative energy, that veil, like that heaviness, like Kat said, had just lifted. So once again, yes, we needed the TV and the monitor, right? But was there you know, motives behind it, with the universe behind it, making that forceful push of like, oh, you have no choice, you have to go. And we did. We all felt really energized when we came back. We were like, let's get on top of this, let's go time. And then the evidence was, but man, amazing. We needed that TV because some of the evidence we got on the DVR system. So, it, you know, in my mind, I had already known from the beginning there was just no question we have to go buy another monitor. Thank God we did, because it turned out amazing. So, yeah, well, the point of this conversation is sometimes the universe leads you in directions that you didn't necessarily want to take, but you need to go with the flow. Some, like even Oprah, I love Oprah's isms. I love her. What's that? Is it the Soul? Or no, she does like masterclass with all of those like celebrities. Have you seen that?
I don't know about that. No.
An amazing series, might I add. So she has these
Wow.
celebrities come in that have had like a lot of knowledge, and they've like, you know, most of them are older, so they've lived, you know, a really fulfilled life, and they'll come and drop their isms with Oprah. And one of the things Oprah always says is sometimes the universe will throw you a curveball, and you have to just lean with it. Did Kat just get disconnected? That was so weird.
Did your audio just go out?
Like your screen just like shut down. It looked like the call ended, but it didn't.
Great.
Kat's been having paranormal activity.
I just texted Blake actually because I couldn't hear you at all, but I was like, I'm just gonna stay calm because I don't know where she went. But
that
it's fine.
is so weird.
No, I actually, guys, I don't know if is the audio okay. Can you hear me okay?
I think so. I mean, no one's complaining yet.
All right.
That's creepy.
Yes.
That was weird.
Well, I've been having weird paranormal activity the past couple days. Pretty sure that there's like a strong male entity in here, and he came through during a phone call with Krystal and very clearly said no. And I told her I'm sorry in advance if my stream gets messed up because it's so strange. Any activity I have in here is so electric.
Right.
It's like up to 10 times 10.
And
so.
Kat has saged.
I sage. What was creepy about this is when I sage the apartment, say Michael prayer, get the F out, because you're not welcome here. And after I saged, it was like seconds after, there was a clear 2 knocks on the door, on my apartment door. And I looked out the peephole, whatever it's called. And there was, I don't know.
Deceased.
But there was nobody there.
Right.
So it was almost like the energy was like, let me back in. And I'm like, get out. You're not welcome
your audio
here.
cut out when you said get the F out. It literally just cut out when you said that, just that line.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to sage again.
In other words, it's like, no, I'm not gonna. No. So, and here's the thing that sucks, and Kat can, back me up on this, and I've talked about it on the channel before, is saging in an apartment complex is so difficult. Because you literally have people above you and below you and next to you and behind you and in front of you, right? I mean, like, oh my God, she's frozen. Is that so creepy, guys? I'm going to call her back. Hang on a second. So anyway, saging in an apartment is very difficult. Let me call her back. Welcome to live chats. Don't you just love paranormal on live chats? I feel like you can't get any more raw than this. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Gosh. So anyway, she did, as I'm trying to call her, she did sage. And what does this mean? She did sage, but it's saying it's not connecting. Am I still live? She better not have passed her little demons to me on this side, okay? I'm just going to go to my screen. Okay. I'm going to try to call her back again. Is this crazy, guys? So yeah, we had a lot of contact in our last location to the point where one night we thought there were possibly hundreds of energies standing around Kat and I. I am live? Okay.
Hello?
Look, she's
Can you
back.
see me?
That was so creepy.
Yeah, I'm annoyed. Every time, and it's like not even just here. It's like personal streams I'll do, or single team streams I'll do.
She has ghosts.
It's Instagram too. Like
Kat has ghosts, okay? No, but in all seriousness, like, Kat does take, like, don't give Kat shit because she sages and takes care of her place, but it's really hard when you're living in an apartment complex. She's also had some people die in her complex. She's had people commit suicide in her complex. So who knows if that's who is the traffic, right? I mean, we were just talking about that this morning.
Can you hear me still?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. There's just like a little loading circle on my video.
Oh, how weird. I think that your ghosts are mean. Just kidding.
I'm just over it.
There was an orb that just went across your face. I just saw it. There's another one. Did you guys see that live? There was 2. There was two, I swear.
Great! Oh my God.
One went to the left side of where you're at from me, and one went to the right side. Oh my gosh. And someone's saying YouTube is wonky.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah!
Did you feel something?
No, my headphone fell out.
I don't know, but demons. That's all I have to say. You know what
I'm gonna have to take care of this because this is really annoying. You know what it almost feels like? It almost feels like someone's just trying. It's almost like a little kid. It almost makes you feel like a kid, just like trying to play pranks and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I don't think it's a kid.
I'm looking. Oh, someone said, "I love your hair today, Kat." Did everybody see the orbs or no? Okay, someone said, "Okay, I saw that." I think they. Okay. I don't know, but that was intense. I feel like I'm losing my voice from just like witnessing all of this.
I'm just over it. It's weird. It's like, well, this is a big 360 too, because anytime I have paranormal activity now, like I handle it way different than when I did the first time at Krystal's place with my eye twitching and like not getting any sleep whatsoever.
For 2 days.
For like 2 days, I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, there was a night, so Kat and I shared a room, and there was a night where literally after we filmed, we were done filming. Like it's over. Like everything's packed up. Like all of the gear is packed up. Filming's done. No more investigating. We're done. And there was a night, literally, we thought there were hundreds of energies in the bedroom, like lining up to talk to us. Like, these people had never communicated with anyone because they've been dead. And Kat and I are like, okay, guys, you need to go now. Like, I'm not going to sit here and, like, have 400 conversations with y'all, okay? So. Yeah. Okay.
It was weird.
Well, now that you just had massive activity, should we get back to the topic?
Yep, until it happens again.
And if anyone's wondering... Discord,
it says audio's getting glitchy. Is it me again?
No, I don't think so. Blake would be, if it was glitchy, Blake would come in and tell me. He's watching in the other room, so if it was glitchy,
I feel really bad. I feel really bad if it's from my side, because this happens all the time.
Well, yeah, you do, like, Instagram live videos, and you'll get, like...
I do, and it cuts off, and it's strange, because anytime I'm, like, documenting paranormal activity, my audio goes, like, glitchy, and it cuts it out completely, or the video just, like, completely cuts out. Mm-hmm. So...
Well, I don't know. That was
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. Oh my god. Okay. So now that that happened.
What happened? What were we talking about?
I don't know. I feel so distracted at the moment because I'm just like, there's 2 orbs on your face. Like, what's going on here? Okay.
You know. Yeah.
All right. Going back to light worker work.
Ooh. Okay.
That really threw me for a loop too. Maybe I had your energy. I don't know what's going on.
You probably do. I'm internally taking deep breaths right now.
Well, yeah, we're all very connected. We all, like, when Chanel's having a bad day and we haven't even talked to her, we will know she's having a bad day. We'll be like, have you talked to Chanel? No? Well, I think she's having a bad day.
It's because, well, especially I feel like for me, because I just talk all the time. I'm really annoying. So it's like when I stop talking, people are like, "Where's Kat?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Kat got knitting quiet. Or something. There's a problem. She's knitting in the corner.
I do. I actually do have my knitting with me. I've been.
Oh my god! It's a giant ball of yarn.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
My life. Anyway.
What about the
wreckers? We talking about?
Well, do you want to go back to Audrey? There's other light workers that we follow too. That I have found recently.
Alexandria Moon, is it? Do you follow her too?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that's
she's
right.
Like,
I think that's
right. Alexandria Moon. She's very similar to Audrey, and it's great. I really like what they do because there's a difference between taking on somebody else's energy, you know, to make you feel like almost like an energy vampire situation, and the difference between that and literally just offering advice to people is so different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, offering awareness to somebody to help them through a challenging time in their life, or, you know, to give them more clarity on what's going on in their life is way different than sitting down in front of somebody and, you know, taking on their burdens as well, trying to talk them through it. They're two completely different things. And I really like that about Audrey, that she shows awareness, gives awareness.
Ooh, there's another here. I'm going through who I'm following on Twitter. This is called The Moon Tarot, which I also think I found through Audrey. But they do like daily readings of tarot cards, of like daily energy readings. And I really, really love that one. So that's Twitter at The Moon Tarot. Really love that one. I think we will follow that. What is this one? Is this another one? This is another one. This is Energy is a Lifestyle, Empowerment, Self-Love, Spiritual Business. And it's Auric, A-U-R-I-C, Auric. Is that how you pronounce it? The Auric Life. I've been following that one. It's a really good one as well. So I follow that one. She's really cool. Let's see. Yeah, there's a couple that Audrey is really, really hardcore about. And I think sometimes you ever like wonder how you end up following some of these people?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever once in a while go through your like who you're following and you're like, who is that? I don't even know how I'm following that person. And you're like, unfollow.
No.
Sometimes I need to clean out my followers. I'm like, I don't even know who I'm following sometimes.
Okay, that is so weird you just said that, because like before the stream I was clearing out my Facebook friends.
Oh really?
Yeah, like I was on letter F.
On letter F.
So we were clearing it. We're clearing that negative energy. We're
getting rid of it.
It's fine.
Here's the other one. And this is a weird caption she has. It says, "Do you have the stars in your mouth? Yes, I tell him, come see. When I die, he asked. Yes, I tell him every time." I don't know, but this is that moon one I think you were talking about. Alexandra Moon is what it is. Alex and Moon. Oh, Alexandra Moon. She spells it at Alex, Alexxandra Moon, M-O-O-N. And she is another light worker too. I love though how they don't realize they're really considered to be light workers. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
right.
in their caption, they don't brag about being a light worker, which
no,
I guess
if that's
humble.
Their path.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if that's their path and their journey, what they're meant to do, it just is what it is. There's no point in bragging about it because that's not their intent. You know, they're there to help others and bring awareness to others.
Yeah, so. Audrey, though, is by far one of my favorites. She's different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She claims that all of her photography is done in pastel pink because she wants her aura to project pastel pink to people. So most of the time her eyes are like half closed or all the way closed. So this is Audrey. She's a little different. You can kind of just tell from her energy she's different. And there was actually a few weeks ago, maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago. I don't know if you saw this. She was talking about she felt like her time on this planet was complete. And she didn't mean, like, and of course people took it in a dark way. People thought, she's going to go get suicidal and, like, kill herself. And that wasn't even what she was talking about. And her account ended up getting reported because people thought that she was suicidal. And she's like, she literally came back on. She's like, no, I'm not suicidal. That's not even where I was going with this. It's just that, like, I'm kind of bored on this planet now because I have completed a lot of assigned tasks that I assume I'm supposed to be a part of. So I would just encourage you guys to go through even like her really old tweets because she's just really knowledgeable. I just love, and she's really positive. Are you hearing something?
Yeah, it sounded like the cabinet in my kitchen opened, making me like a sound. That's cool. Cool guys, we're cool.
Yeah, but you can't sage every single day. You're gonna like smoke the complex out over there, lady. Jesus.
Well, I did not do as thorough of a saging as I think I did because I'll open up all the cabinets, all the drawers, and I'll sage everything. And I didn't do that, so I think I need to do that.
It's fine.
I'm running out of sage. Like, I need more sage.
Have you seen that meme on social media? It's like when you finally find a sage stick big enough, and it's like this giant like log. It's like the size.
That's literally what I need. Next week, I'm going back to Salem, Massachusetts. There's an apothecary that I go to pick up like my white sage, and I need more
jealous
sage sticks as well. So I'm gonna get like a bunch this time. I'm just gonna buy out the store. It's fine. They're like, no, give me the whole jar.
There's like sage farms in California, and that's where I get mine from, and it's like dirt cheap, and I love it, and I love that it's like it's very like clean sage. You know what I mean? Clean white sage.
Yeah. I go to this store as well called the Coven's Cottage, and it's owned by generations worth of witches. And they're awesome people. You go in there and you're literally blown over by the positive energy that it radiates in there. That's actually the place I wanted to bring Chanel. She only lives like 8 hours from me. And yeah, it's beautiful in there, and they have gorgeous sage sticks. Gorgeous. And they have like, you know, feathers and such you can use, and they have conch shells in there as well. It's just amazing.
I found a company on Etsy, and I shouldn't brag about it unless I have them pulled up. So that I can share it. But I found a company on Etsy. I want to say they're out of California because that's where a lot of sage is actually grown. But anyway, the company is, they make the most amazing sage wreaths. Literally. And
wow.
I mean, I wouldn't burn one, to be honest.
To light on fire? I was like...
Well, I mean, I guess you could. That's all I'm gonna say. But
just don't attach it to your house.
Well, actually, wait a sec. I'm looking for them and I can't find them. I'll have to get on Instagram and find them. But another side note: there's a company on Etsy called. Oh wait, is this Bohemian Cowgirls? It might be this one. Hang on. Wait, is this it? I just want to share it because I think people love it if they go on and find them. Yes, this is the company. There's a company called Bohemian Cowgirls, and it's all one word. The Bohemian Cowgirls on Etsy. They take sage and flowers, and this is like literally a sage bouquet of flowers. And they also turn sage and flowers into like wreaths that you can hang all over your house. They're the most beautiful things. Were you able to see it, or is it still in a circle?
No, what do you mean?
Like,
wait,
can you see
what
it?
Are you showing?
But I am, but I can take a picture of it and send it to you. I'll just take
a picture and send it to me. Yeah.
Let me save it so I can send it, and then
send it to my work phone.
I will.
Oh, I can see it.
You can.
Yeah.
And then the other company that I found on Etsy by accident is called it's all one word, Tiff's Trolls, Tiffs Trolls. And she takes like old school like literally, what are they called? Like the gemstone trolls, where you have like the little belly button with the gemstone. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
She finds them because I think they're most likely like vintage at this point. But she will take the trolls, remove their hair, and she will insert crystals into their hair. And I'm showing everybody right now. And it is the cutest thing. So she turns these into like crystal trolls to help like cleanse and protect your house. And I think it's the cutest. I mean, I'm not a huge troll fan, but those are pretty cute. Those are pretty darn cute is all I'm going to say. But she has a ton of different ones, but they range from like $30 to $50. Like these are citrine trolls that she has. So I just love
citrine.
Me too. I love citrine. So anyway, those are some cool ones. Tiff's Trolls. There's like the title of it up there if everybody can see it.
Aww, that's cute.
Isn't that cute? Okay, you're having movement over there. I can just tell.
It's my roommate just opened the door. He just came home.
He's like, oh my god, what are you doing?
Okay. Gosh.
Oh my god, they have a sage troll on here. He has little sage sticking out of his head. But I would recommend not burning this because I don't think burning plastic with the... First of all, why would you want to kill the troll?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It is, but I don't think you want to inhale, you know, a plastic troll doll. So anyway.
I feel like that would make you ill.
I feel like that's not good. That's like...
That's not healthy.
It's like the burn pits that Blake breathed in like Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay.
Good Lord.
let's talk about Akashic, or is it, how do you pronounce it? Akashic records. Okay.
I believe that's how you say it. Yeah.
I have books on this. I know, I never pronounce it right. It's spelled Akashic records, okay? I found this out by accident. Like, I love Einstein. I'm a big fan of, like, Tesla, not necessarily the car, although I would love a Tesla someday. But the actual, like, I mean, what would you call him? Kind of like an alchemist? Tesla. They actually studied these records. And so basically what these records are is it's claimed that, like, when your time is done here on this planet and you cross over to the other side, you are able to access this entire room of records. It's claimed that you can actually access the records here on Earth, but you have to ascend to a certain point on your spiritual journey before your guides will allow you to access them. And most people do not access them because it can be traumatic, is what I've read about. So Einstein believed in them. Tesla believed in them, along with a slew of, like, Plato, Socrates. Basically, you can access these records, which are a hall of records of all of your past lives and lessons and things that you've been through, hardships, difficult times, clearly sad things that have probably destroyed your soul at some point, which is why it's claimed you cannot access them until you have reached that hierarchy of spiritual journey. What do you think about the records? Do you think they exist?
Yeah, I do. And, you know, some of the research that I was doing on them too, they claim it's like a mystical knowledge about all human events. And I'm actually curious to see, because they do actually have certain people that do Akashic readings.
Really?
For people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I'm actually wondering if Audrey does that, because she seems so in tune with just the universe and so sure about, like, her past life and what she was, that I'm curious if maybe, you know, Alexandria Moon or Audrey do readings like that for people. But they say you can also access it through some deep meditation. And if you keep asking the universe, you know, for clarity, as anything, for information on your past life, it will eventually come to you, but you also need to naturally let things go. Like, you can't try to be in control of it, and just let it come to you when the time comes.
Right.
So I'm, like, weird about it, only because I guess it goes on the topic about psychics as well. Like, I don't want to know too much about my future, because I don't want to mess anything up or have, like, anxiety, you know, and I feel like knowing specifics about my past life would just make me an anxiety mess.
I do. I feel like you wouldn't be able to focus on what you're doing right now.
No, I think it would just take away from it.
But I do feel like they exist. I think they exist. Clearly, we're not talking about on this plane. We're not talking about, like, here on Earth. It's not like you're going to go to the library, like, not physically. It's not. That's not what we're talking about.
It's not tangible.
Yeah, it's a different realm. Basically, is what we're talking about. Yeah. I find it compelling because I do believe that we live many lives. That's always been something I've just known. Like, when I was a kid, I was 3, I've talked about it before, I would discuss drowning in my past life. I was, like, 3, barely able to talk, and was able to give specific, detailed images of how I drowned, why I drowned, the family that I left, the children that I left behind. And my mom didn't know if someone was, like, feeding me information. There was a period of time where she thought I was watching too much TV, and I was, like, making this up. And at 3, you don't really, you know, have the patience to sit down and watch TV. I didn't grow up with smartphones and tablets in my hand, you know? And so she would literally, like, question, like, my dad and all my family, like, you need to stop telling Krystal stories because she's taking it and she's making up a bunch of stuff.
Running it.
But eventually, when I talked about it so much, she was like, I just knew that was literally how you died in your past life. She'd even taken me to a doctor at one point. And doctors are usually very, like, on the books, medical. And the doctor had even said, what if this is, like, a past life thing that she's experiencing? Like, she remembers from her past life. So I have always been a firm, stern believer in it, because my mom, to this day, if you talk to her about it, she does not find it funny. She finds it very serious, because she's like, I was terrified. My 3-year-old was going into detail about how they drowned. And she's like, as a parent, it was terrifying to hear that come from your kid's
That
mouth.
is. Yeah.
So
It's
so
crazy.
you believe in past lives too.
I do. Well, I mean, it all, you know, when we were at your place, and we spoke to the spirit guide, I spoke to my spirit guide. And, you know, she said that her name was Abigail and that I had lived 8 other lives as a female. And I found that very strange because I've always felt that my spirit guides were all female and that I attract female entities and more frequently. And I also had like a female attachment from Salem, you know, that still resides here. So I found that very strange. Found that very strange. But yes, I absolutely believe in that.
See, and I'm the opposite. I think that I have probably lived a majority of male lives, is what I think. I tend to, which Chanel is kind of in the same boat. We both attract strong male energies, sometimes that like to be threatening and intimidating. And maybe that's where like my drive comes from, is like not of being very fearless, not caring, you know, being a female in paranormal. Like my gender has never stopped me. I don't care what you think or say or how the industry treats us as girls. But yeah, I've always thought that I've had that kind of, is it a male drive? I feel like that's not appropriate to say. I'm not sure how to.
No, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah, it's just very like no care barge sort of attitude of just like keep going forward. I think Blake's a girl. No, I'm just kidding. Blake's
Probably.
Blake is very sensitive. He's a sensitive guy, and but he, you know, he was in 2 wars too. So I think that changes you. It's funny because after what we experienced with Harley passing, you know, like Blake always has believed in paranormal, and this is just kind of tying into light work. He's always believed in paranormal because when he deployed to Iraq, he did stumble onto one of Saddam Hussein's massive grave sites, and he said that the energy there is just, it's like demoralizing. You know what I mean? Like just the dark history that took place, where if Saddam Hussein would kill his own civilians, he would just throw them in this giant pit. There was like no proper burial. They would, like this giant deep pit, they just throw like bodies in massive mountains of bodies. So he had stumbled onto one of those, and he goes that the energy is just so tragic and traumatizing and sad. But you know, he's a believer in paranormal. He's experienced stuff with me because clearly we've been filming together for years. But the like excessive divine paranormal that we have experienced with Harley getting sick, dying, and even afterwards, I have never heard Blake be such a believer and talk so much about the light side and like the, you know, divine interventions and stuff like that. And it's because some of the stuff that we experienced, it's almost like stronger than what paranormal could be when it's like the light worker side or like the divine side, because it's so clear, the communication's so clear and like subjective, you can't deny it. I mean, you even felt that way sometimes with stuff that you've experienced, like you said, with spirit guides. Don't you think the energy experiencing with spirit guides or light workers or whatever is 20 times stronger than anything dark?
It is.
Yeah.
100%. And it blows you over. You almost feel like disoriented, and you know, especially when you encounter somebody like that. But that's the energy you want to surround yourself with.
Well, and that's where we all, you, myself, and Chanel, get so annoyed with all of the shows on TV that are always about demons, darkness, and the demons are so heavy and blah blah blah. Yeah, they are, but do you know how strong the light side is? It's
much
400 times stronger than the demon is.
Light always wins. Light always wins.
It does. Yep.
And that's just how it is.
And it's been, I mean, and not to say that I've, you know, experienced dark stuff, and, you know, people know I have a dark side. I have my Wednesday Addams comes out. Chanel's a little dark.
Shanae. We
both I enjoy the light side, but as I enjoy the dark side as well, because you're looking at 2 different scenarios, you know what I'm saying? But so how do you feel about meditation and crystal healing?
Yes. So there's like, and I always tell this to Krystal too, because there's so many different forms of meditation. You know, there's yoga, you know, maybe going for a walk or just sitting down in silence, you know, centering yourself. But
Knitting,
for
just
me,
knitting.
it literally is knitting. I'm not even kidding. Like, I know that sounds funny, but that's the only time where I can just sit and be with my own thoughts and not think of anything. And I also just love the fact that, you know, it's using things from the world, like alpaca hair or wool from a sheep, you know, and it almost makes me feel grounded. And that's like my form of meditation. And obviously crystals, I love crystals. I freak out every time I see a crystal. I feel like Krystal and I freak out when we see crystals.
We're horrible.
And
we
oh my gosh,
a crystal shop. I'm like, there's crystals.
Well, we'll walk by a shop and we're like hyperventilating. It's great. It's a good moment. But
I found just a random thought. When we were filming, we were filming in a different state, and we were in a small town. But anyway, when we were in this town, there's a bigger town next to it. So we went down to the bigger town to like have lunch or dinner and eat. So we went into this store they had. It's a really like, remember the little stores they had that was like, we went in one of the like secondhand store kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we go in this secondhand store and clearly things are either secondhand or someone's making them, and might I say very cheaply. Like they're very cheap. Okay. I find this cross that someone has like clearly super glued by hand. I loved it though because it had seashells and crystals on it. And there was like 2 of them, and I was like, I'm gonna get cat knives. Oh my god, it's crystals, like, and stuff from nature. Oh my god, like Kat and I are freaks about it. So I picked this cross up, and whoever put it together clearly did not glue it well enough, and just remember like everything just, I literally pick it up and just starts like rolling off.
You're like slowly put it back where it was. You're like, okay,
I don't want there's like crystals all over the floor.
Oh
but
my gosh.
Literally anything with crystals, Kat and I are like, oh my god.
Yeah, and it's so, I always hate it, and you know, there's always going to be skeptics or people that don't believe in it, which is fine. They're entitled to their opinion. But if you allow yourself to feel the positive energy from specific crystals or crystals you feel that are drawn to you, you literally feel the energy. Like for me, I really resonate well with amethyst. It literally feels like I had like 10 cups of coffee and I can get up and start my day. That's what the energy feels like. Lately, I bought my Angel Aura quartz, which looks like a little crystal ball on like a chain. And I wear that constantly. Since that kind of came to me really naturally, I was looking up other crystals to wear because I love wearing crystal necklaces. And it really resonated with me. So when I purchased it, I was like, whew, blown away by the energy it protruded. Essentially, Angel Aura quartz helps others see light in other people. So it really like gives positive energy, a lot like amethyst does, or clear quartz, but it almost like amps it up times 10 and makes you have a different outlook on others, you know, what their intentions might be. It also kind of clears the air of you know, toxic behavior, and you're kind of able to see it out better and see what their intentions are. And I just love wearing that necklace. I'll put it on and I'm like, I'll text the group chat and I'm like, whew, let it sit on my selenite all night, and I'm like blown away right now. It's like wearing it. And
random questions people always ask me is, how do I know what kind of crystal to get? What kind of crystal should I get? Okay, that's like an endless response. There is no right response. The only right response is you can either research it and look it up, but even then it's still not going to work. You have to go to a crystal store and you have to literally pick it up and see what crystals work with your energy. There's some crystals that are good for sleeping, some that are good for anxiety, some that are good for meditation, some that are good for cleansing space, right? Like now Kat just said her 2 favorites are Angel Aura and Amethyst. I do love Amethyst. I have Amethyst as well. It tends to help me sleep at night. Amethyst is also a really good protector against nightmares. If you like order like Amethyst like peaks, like little peaks or something, and put it by your bed and charge them, that's really good. My personal favorite that mutes with my energy all the time is rose quartz. And I think that's because rose quartz is usually about the love. And once again, I talked about this on my stream last night. I love love. I love seeing the good in people. It's also a very positive stone. Once it's really charged, it tends to just work well with my vibrations. But everybody else, I can't speak for you. You can take mine and Kat's favorites and try to apply them to yourself. I love to go on eBay and Amazon. Sometimes they'll have, eBay in particular has like, you know, rare, sometimes secondhand stones, or jewelry like rings or necklaces or pendants or even bracelets. And I'll order them, make sure if it's secondhand, you cleanse them, right? You don't want someone else's energy on it. But sometimes you don't know how that stone is going to work with you. Like, for example, like true. Black obsidian is supposed to be really good. Black tourmaline, black obsidian are really good energy absorbers. So particularly negative energy or toxic energy. And a lot of people wear those. Like Chanel has a black tourmaline bracelet that she wears all the time because she's interacting with different people constantly. Those two, though, don't seem to work for me. I have to wear literally a selenite necklace, and I don't have it on. Usually I do. But selenite will block and absorb negative energy, and then turns that negative energy into positive energy. So selenite is one of the stones you don't really have to charge. You have to find what works for you. I will say selenite is probably one of the strongest stones out there.
Highest vibrational crystal.
And you just be careful getting a selenite stone if you're not familiar.
It'll give you a headache.
I
warned her. I told her this is gonna happen, and it did.
I bought this. I can't even get to it because I think it's in the other room. I had this huge selenite slab. Kat has one too.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just getting over a sinus infection. I have this huge selenite slab. Kat bought one, okay? The day she bought one, I kicked myself for not buying one. I was like, I just want a selenite slab. Kat was right. I should have got one. And so for like 2 weeks, I just like kicked myself for not buying a selenite slab. So finally, I got the time from work to go down and buy one. Kat, like, I don't know if you should. You're still like getting into crystals. Like, you need to prepare yourself. She's like, when I brought the selenite slab home, I was sick for like a week. And I'm like, I'm fine, okay? Been doing paranormal for years. Like, I've got this. And Kat's like, just prepare yourself. And what happens, I bring it home, and I literally, like, I get migraines, and I am nauseated for, like, a week. And my mom went with me to go shopping at that crystal store. And so she was holding the selenite slab on the way home. And we're both, like, in the car, like, I'm just so sick. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm so sick. Both of us.
It cleanses everything, and the bigger, you know, the crystal, the more it's going to take some time for you to resonate to it.
But I love it. And I ended up finding this giant, I have this, oh my God, it's beautiful. I'll post a picture of it on my Instagram story when we're done. I bought this beautiful selenite lamp, pure selenite, and it has a light in the middle of it, after I finally got accustomed to the selenite energy. And the lamp is now in my living room, and it's like my favorite. It's huge. I love it. But even Kat, did you end up charging your crystal on it when you were here? Or
charging my what?
Your crystal necklace on it?
Yes, I did. I didn't bring mine, so I asked her if I could throw it on there, because I'll usually charge them every night.
Yep.
For some, it depends on the crystal. Like, I remember talking to this woman at a crystal store that I really like, and I was talking about black tourmaline, and it essentially, every crystal has its own like room to absorb depending on the crystal. So obviously black tourmaline and black obsidian are very strong crystals to help with depression and anxiety. And it's claimed that even just a small piece of black obsidian or black tourmaline can fill up to like 5 football stadiums worth of negative energy. So if you don't happen to charge it overnight, you know, after one day, it's okay. You know, it's still going to work. So it all depends, and it's all about research too.
Why don't you talk about charging? Because you taught me about charging, because I didn't even. Well, so what I would I'll let you just talk about it. But when charging, I was only using like the moon and the sun to charge, which is another way to do it. But Kat taught me
it's just a little bit longer.
So talk about what does it mean to charge a crystal? Why do you need to charge it, and what does it mean?
So there's a difference between clearing and charging. So a lot of the times, you know, more experienced people with crystals will get it from a store and they'll clear it. So that means you can either like run it through water or let it sit in the sun all day, and that will clear out any intentions or energy that maybe was on the crystal in that store, or if you didn't trust the person you got it from, which I don't recommend either way, because clearing sometimes doesn't work depending on the situation. But charging essentially just reboots the crystal. So with selenite, because it's like amped up on steroids crystal, it's like the highest vibrational thing out there. You can get a slab of it, or even just like a little rock if you're just starting out. And the more raw of form of the crystal, especially selenite, the higher the vibration and the more you'll get out of the healing process. So if it's extremely polished, I wouldn't recommend getting it because you lose a lot of those natural healing benefits that come from it. So the more natural, the better. Don't get selenite wet, by the way, because it will dissolve completely. Yeah. So you got to keep it in a room.
It'll disappear. Don't wash
it. It will
selenite.
disappear in your hand. Don't do it.
You don't need to clear or cleanse the selenite, really. Just,
I know, you don't need to do that.
Put it in the sun if you need to, but that's about it.
True. But essentially, like what I do is I have a selenite slab and I'll leave it on there, and it's a really good charging crystal to quickly charge your other ones. So whereas you can charge your crystals in the sun or moon overnight or after 24 hours, it's a little bit of a longer process. But if you forgot to charge them overnight on your selenite, you can literally take them, put them on the slab, and leave them there for 20 minutes, and it's boom, ready to go because of how high of a vibration it is. So it's really good if you're like on the go, but you need to take them with you quickly, and you still get the benefits as it was outside for 24 hours.
Which I am, and I don't, like, Kat is pretty hardcore with her crystals. Maybe I'll get to that point someday. I doubt it because this girl is busy. Okay.
True.
And maybe I should just buy selenite for every room. So like I just have a backup charging station in every room. But so normally I'll only charge mine about once a week. And that's even if I remember to do it. Or I'm really big on like full moon charging. Like that I'm really hardcore about. In fact, last time the full moon, it was the wolf moon. I accidentally left my crystals and everything outside for like 2 or 3 days. And when I brought them in the house, I was like, oh my God. Like I literally, it was so strong. I was like, my house is going to explode, girl. Like,
oh my gosh, funny.
Yeah, and then moon water too. You can charge moon water. So I have the crystal water bottles. And so I'll put like my regular good, like, you know, distilled filtered water, and I'll put that in the moon overnight. Obviously make sure it's in a closed container so nothing gets in it, and you can drink that, and it's really good for being charged. But then I also get, like, I have an old pickle jar, and I will put just like regular water I'm not going to drink in it, and I'll charge it and use it for different things. You can even use that water for cleansing or charging as well.
Yeah. Now I have a quick question for you, Krystal. Have you ever heard of the human pendulum trick with crystals?
Is that like the regular crystal pendulum, like when you like hold it on the necklace?
Well,
and
it's actually like in human form. So like a human can actually be a pendulum when it comes to crystals.
No.
Have I told you about that? I haven't. Okay, so this is really good. It's really quick too.
I'm scared. Do you
people,
I feel like I imagine a person swinging from a rope or something.
I do it when I'm in a crystal store. So for people that are brand new to buying crystals but are really open to it, that's great. But this is a really good way for you to find out which crystal would resonate with you. So like you see a really pretty color, and you're like, wow, that's a really pretty color, but I don't know if this is going to resonate with me because I'm really new to this. I don't know what's going to happen, or, you know, what the heck. So what you do, and it's actually really common, I see it a lot in crystal stores, so it might feel weird at first doing it, but after a while it will really help, because you want to, you know, you don't want to waste your money on a crystal that's not really going to resonate well with you. You want it to help you through whatever you're going through. So if you take a second and you're standing in the middle of the store to center yourself, you close your eyes. You tell yourself, you have the crystal in your hand, right? It's like, let's say you like the amethyst, but you don't know if it's going to resonate with what you need right now. You take the amethyst and you hold it in your hand and you close your eyes for like 2 seconds and just ask the universe, do I need this in my life right now? And naturally, you will either sway forward or you will sway backwards.
Interesting.
And that is the universe talking to you, and there's no in between. There's no middle ground. Either yes or no. So if you happen to see yourself, and you have to do this with your eyes closed, if you happen to feel yourself moving forward, that's the universe telling you yes, you need it right now. And if you move backwards, that's the universe telling you no, you don't need that right now. And that is a really accurate and good way to find out what crystal works for you. You start out with like a couple crystals that kind of resonate with you that you want to see. You know, because obviously everybody's energy is different, and it might be nerve-wracking to do that at first, but if you take that 2 seconds to just ask if this is what you need right now, the universe will tell you. And that's cool. How I use all of my crystals. Even now, I'll even go to a new crystal store now, and if I say, wow, you know, I really like this sodalite, I have some at home, but I don't know if I need more of it right now. So I'll do the same thing. I'll do the human pendulum trick, which is centering your mind and asking in your mind if I need this, and they'll tell you. So
people that are new with crystals too, I feel like the way I started it, well, first of all, my mom has always been a gemologist. She's been a gemologist since I was little. So I've been surrounded by jewelry my whole life, and I've always loved jewelry, gemstones, stuff like that. Clearly, she named me Krystal for a reason, right?
Right.
And so I've always been surrounded by it. So I can't tell you how to start because I feel like I started when I was like 4. Just loving crystals and jewelry, you know?
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer pendants, necklace pendants with crystals, or rings. Beautiful. Kat knows I have like 10. I literally will wear like 8 or 10
on
rings.
Every finger.
Yep. And but I'm very picky with what I'm wearing, why I'm wearing it, how I'm wearing it. I'm very picky. Peridot I have this beautiful antique peridot ring that I wear. And it's supposed to be like very healing for past relationships. I had purchased that when my dad was dying, right? I was trying to heal from that past relationship. So I have certain rings that I do wear for certain reasons, and I'll switch them out too. But the easiest way I think to start is just finding, either Googling, looking like, what do I need? Am I looking for something for sleep? Or what literally attracts me visually? I would say purchase like 3 or 4 different crystals. You don't have to go crazy financially. And if you're nervous about like spending it on like fine jewelry, because like all of my rings are either 14 karat gold or sterling silver, if you don't want to spend that much, then start with just literally like $1 or $2 stones. Buy a few, see how they resonate with you, and then decide, okay, this one worked for me, this one didn't work for me, maybe none of them worked for you. Go back and try it, but you still have to be open to the experience of getting on that level.
Yeah, you won't get the healing benefits you need if you just rely on the crystal for it. It needs to be a two-way street where you say, I believe, you know, let's do this, essentially. And also do your research on crystal stores. Look them up online, check their reviews, look at their photos of what it looks like in there. Obviously, there are exceptions. Like, for one example, there are 2 crystal stores I go to religiously
me
because they do not allow cell phones into the store.
Right.
They tell them to keep them in your car because they don't want that energy. They say that energy from the phones can emit negative energy into the crystals, and their place is a very pure, you know, and clear place.
Right.
So if you see places that say no cell phones, no audio, or, you know, no video, you know, please keep your phones in the store or else you will be asked to leave or put it in the car. That is a legit place. And also ready yourself, because going into a crystal store, people can have different reactions to the energy. Some people lose their voice. Some people feel really hot. Yeah, and they almost pass out. And that's all part of the process. You know, we all acclimate differently, but just take it in stride. You don't have to be in there for an hour and say, oh my God, now I feel acclimated. You know, go in there for 20 minutes and leave. And then maybe go back next week and just check it out. You don't have to buy something there, but even walking in to a crystal store and acclimating yourself to the energy is helpful down the road.
Well, yeah, don't stay till you pass out, because I even know people that work at some of the big crystal stores here in Vegas, and even the people that work there have said some days are harder than others, and I've literally blacked out and don't remember it from the energy. Another thing, Kat is really, really right. Please research where you're going before you go, because metaphysical stores, especially with crystals, can be dangerous. And I say that because you could be walking into a situation where there is psychic vampires or energy vampires, okay? I am also, when I go into a crystal store or a metaphysical store, as long as I know where I'm going, right? I'm like Kat, I have specific stores I go to. I don't really like trying new ones, especially if they have bad reviews. I do not open my mouth about who I am, because I've learned from the past, if you get in a conversation with someone and they try to be like trusting of you or gain your trust, and I'm like, oh yeah, my name's Krystal Leandra, I have a channel on YouTube called Ghost Girl Diaries, blah blah blah, suddenly it's like psychic attack, and they're like, how can I use her for my benefit? And that's not just my case, that could go for anybody watching. So my biggest thing is, no matter where you go, you can ask questions about the crystals, absolutely, but generally speaking, try to keep your mouth shut, because you don't want to find someone that ends up attacking you on an energy level. And unfortunately, I've had that happen. Even, haven't you experienced going into that one store in Salem that has really, really terrible energy, and it almost scares you to go in there?
Yeah, well, that was the store with the warlocks. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before on like a separate Instagram feed, but that was horrible. That was horrible, because people that are in tune, I guess, with the universe but have bad intentions, even without you telling them, will sometimes know that there's something unique about you, or that you're into the paranormal, or they're, you know, and they'll try to ask questions or like coax you. And these guys were literally like backing me into the back of the friggin' store. They were interested in my energy or the aura that I emitted, and they were bad news.
Right.
Bad news. So you've got to be careful and trust your intuition too. If you walk in and you're like, nope, and you turn around and walk out, that's good. You know, that's you using your intuition to say, this energy's bad. So
no,
yeah,
my mom is very sensitive to energy too, and like she loves jewelry, obviously, being a gemologist for like 20-30 years. Yeah. But I've taken her into some psychic stores, and she literally looks at me and she's like, I have to leave. And I'm not affected, but she is affected by it. And she's like, there's just something not right here, I have to go. So always trust your instincts. Please do research before you go. Unfortunately, there is people in this industry that are like every industry, where you use it for bad and you take advantage of people. So just be really prepared. I always tell Kat and the girls, well, Kat already knows, but like Chanel and when we had other people on set, bubble up before you go in. Put your bubble up, your invisible force field, so that you're prepared for whatever you might encounter when you walk in. And that includes weird humans.
Yeah.
Weird humans. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we love crystal healing. We believe in meditation. We love yoga, all that stuff. And I don't know, this was a fun stream.
It was fun. Yeah. We always talk about this stuff, but it really does tie together with, you know, the paranormal and the Akashic records and even light working. Yep. You know, doing positive things like this to not only better yourself, but to spread awareness to others is just a gift in itself.
It is.
Gift in itself. And anybody can be a light worker. As long as you believe and you have, you know, the right tools and, you know, crystals that you need. And it's amazing.
And light working work specifically, some people get confused, like, oh, Kat and Krystal think they're divine, okay? They think they're divine bitches, and they are light workers, and they think they are better than everybody. Oh, nay, nay. No. And even Audrey, we talking about Audrey, we love her. She's full of all this positive energy, all this knowledge. It has nothing to do with anyone being better than each other. Don't compare my chapter 23 to your chapter 12.
Yeah. Everybody's
journey
is
on different levels. No one's journeys are the same, not even like a married couple or a couple. Everyone's journeys are separate. You're not supposed to have the same journey here. The purpose of this planet is being different and doing your own thing. And unfortunately, society gets in our minds of like we're all supposed to look like Kylie Jenner.
Right.
And we're not.
We are all unique. Yeah. We're all unique. You know, nobody's story is the same.
Nope.
Nobody's story is the same, and you've just got to keep doing you.
Yep.
It's really hard. It's really hard. But once you get on that path, you'll just know.
Yep.
And you're going to feel 10,000 times better. Like, wow.
Your confidence will go up.
It will.
Yep.
You don't need validation for anything. You know you can trust yourself.
Stop
and your
comparing
intuition.
yourself to people.
And, and that's when you'll attract positive people in your life. You know, positive groups, because they all resonate the same as you do.
And that goes back to me being on YouTube for since 2014, 15. People get so mad because they're like, review this YouTube channel, review this YouTuber, da-da-da. And I'm like, no. Yeah. I don't pay attention to what other people are doing. All I know is what I'm doing. And you either like it or you don't, right? And that's it. There's no...
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And I also don't want other people's journeys to get into my head and be like, oh my gosh, I should be this far. I should be doing this. And that's where like anxiety and depression kicks in. is overthinking, right? That's what overthinking looks like. And that's when you have to be like, wait a minute, reset, stop, rewind, get back on track. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Let's just worry about ourselves.
And it's so important, too, to just meditate as well. You know, it doesn't have to be like an Elms thing where you're sitting there cross-legged on the floor. You know,
also doesn't have to be for an hour. I mean, Jesus, I can't meditate for an hour. No,
absolutely not. You know, taking 5 minutes here and there, you know, to just sit there and be in your thoughts helps. And you know, social media is the biggest culprit, too. I really try hard to not be on it as much. You know, obviously it can be used as a tool to be successful, which is great. You know, your intentions are great. But I don't want to see the energy vampires and the negative crap. That's why I was on a deleting binge today.
Well, also, in your case, you're doing social media management for GGD.
Yeah.
So you see energy vampires come at us at sporadic places. Not only your personal account you get affected, but the business accounts get affected. And you have to learn. And you know, when Kat got hired, which was last summer, she learned really quick. She'd call me like, this person just posted this. And I'm like, I know, girl, people are cray-cray. But now you realize the amount of energy that it takes for someone to spew something ugly. That's their energy, not yours.
It is. And it's reached a point now where you see it and you just laugh. You just laugh because you're not in that state of mind anymore needing validation from anybody. And you're like, wow, thanks, buddy. You just wasted 2 minutes of your life typing out how horrible this is or how it's fake. You know, and it's comical when you think about it. It really is. So
well, it's also sad to think somebody... Well, it goes back to our journey. And the journey is we are dedicating our life to what we believe in with film and paranormal and light work. And this person has no journey to the point where they have to waste 5 or 10 minutes of their day to come on and spew hate. And I would be miserable too if I was lost on my journey. So then I turn it around and look and be like, you know what? I get it, girl. I get why you're upset. Clearly you're a lost soul. And you if you would just channel your own energy into your own path, you wouldn't be that miserable that you have to spew hate as well. And it is, it's been a growth.
And you can hope that they change, but don't waste your energy on it because eventually they're going to hit a wall. You know, but you can always, you know, give out that little blip to the universe or, you know, say a little prayer and say, you know, I hope that you change your ways.
I wish you luck.
You know, without having to drain your energy.
Yep. I hope you heal your heart, boo, because...
Yep.
Boo. Boo. Should we tell one more funny story for the end? I feel like that would be fun.
Wait, which one?
Well, we have a couple. Like there's a couple. First of all, I'm eating cough drops because I'm sick.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, sometimes you just gotta... They're delicious.
Eat cough drops.
Peppermint, you know?
Fine.
Blech.
Yeah.
It's like, if I don't have cough drops, I'm just going to cough the whole time.
That's cute.
It's not cute. It's just I'm preparing.
It's cute. Yeah, it's
fine. It's fine. Everything's
fine. It's great. It's fine.
Kat and I, you know, Kat works with like pre-production with me. She's also starting to help me do the budget for the series. So she's learned a lot in a short amount of time. And so she really gets what it takes to put on this production. It's a lot of work, right? So when we finally finished the pilot, we were like, you know what? We all deserve to go out and celebrate. Let's go out and celebrate.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes. Well, I know what you're getting.
I'm not going to talk about the beauty shop. Okay, first of all, we're not going to talk about that.
We'll talk about the what? Oh, God, no. No, let's not talk about that.
That was another funny story, though.
That stays with the crew.
Yeah, that's a crew. That's one of those things you had to be there. It's very personal.
Oh, good Lord. Anyway.
We survived. That's good news.
We did.
So... we were like, let's go out, let's go. We find some really cute hipster bars kind of in, it looks like a dungeon. It was very dungeony. It was odd because it very, like, it fit the vibe of, like, who we are as a crew. I can't believe we found that.
It looks like an old school tavern. If anybody plays Skyrim, I'm obsessed with Skyrim. It looks like a tavern in Skyrim. That's all.
It had like the brick inlaid and like the stone.
And the lanterns, the fire pit. Oh my gosh.
Woodwork. It was beautiful. It was amazing. So that's like our new like hangout place for the crew. And it was just celebration. So then 2 days later, we decide, so Kat is the only crew member left, and Kat and I are like, let's go out, let's go hang out. Kat had never been to a club at all, first of all, and second of all, not in Vegas. And I feel, you know, it's not like we're out to go get ripped. We weren't like drinking. We just wanted to go, well, we had a couple of drinks, but we wanted to just, I wanted her to experience a night out in Vegas, you know, because it's fun. You get like dressed up and you feel fancy and you're surrounded by people that are fun. And so I had some personal friends that were down on the Strip that invited us, like old school friends from like high school, that invited us to go to the Strip the last night that Kat was here. And Kat's like, no, I'm really excited, you know, like I don't know.
We don't have this in New Hampshire.
Right, New Hampshire, everything closes at like 11, you said, right?
Yep.
And is there even
really
clubs
early
in New Hampshire is the next question?
There are, but they're not in good areas of town. I mean, unless you're into stabbing.
Right.
Getting stabbed. Let's not get stabbed. You know, we're not going to get stabbed today, so we just don't go. We just don't go.
And like, I think there's a different perception too. Like, when you say the word club in any other place, I think you have a different perception than what it's like in Vegas. Because the clubs in Vegas are not what you think in your hometown. The clubs in Vegas are like its own entity. It's like they are. It's like a whole experience. It's not what you. It's not just a dance floor or just a bar or just drinking. It's like chandeliers and lights and like
lavish,
beautiful people and like beautiful lavish couches. And it's just an experience, in my opinion. So when I say club, it doesn't mean like, you know, we're like club hoeing it up out there. It's like the experience of Vegas. You know what I mean? So we go into, I don't think we need to be specific. Oh, wait, no, you posted it on social media, so never mind. We went to the Cosmopolitan, which is supposed to be kind of like a hipster bar. This is also where my friends were staying. I actually hadn't been down to the Cosmo yet. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
There were literally crystal curtains everywhere.
We were like, oh my God.
I mean, I'm not talking like a curtain. I'm talking like 2-story crystal curtains everywhere. They were amazing. Of course, Kat and I with our crystals, like, do you see the crystal curtains?
I know. The whole time, literally, it felt like for 5 minutes, we're like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I just kept saying, do you see the crystal curtain? I think I said that like 4 times. Like, yeah, I see it, girl. Yeah, same thing. So we went into this club, met my friends. They had purchased a VIP section. I'm gonna be catty and just say that I've been to a few of the clubs here in Vegas as a local, and I have experienced some of the clubs, some of the most expensive clubs in Vegas, the kind that are like $1,500 just to sit in the VIP section, and that doesn't include drinks, right? Plus, you get, like, your own security, and you get, like, your own barista and all this stuff. So I wasn't sure what to go into this club because I'd never experienced it before. And we ended up finding out that the VIP section was only $200. And that's not I'm sorry. Like, for the clubs I've been to
in Vegas.
For the clubs I've been to, that's really low. You know what I mean? Like, but it was beautiful. There's no misconception of it. So as the VIP, you still had security, and you still had baristas. Yeah. But we had found out, since it was on a Monday, it was basic. If you purchased a VIP section, which was $200, which I did not personally purchase that, the VIP section was credited with, how did they word it? The drinks were on the house till 1 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
And so Kat and I had only had like 2 drinks each. It wasn't like a night to go get ripped. It was just a night to still celebrate and have Kat experience Vegas. And because I don't really drink at all. And one of the people that was involved with the purchase of the VIP section was someone whom I did not know. For some reason, attacked Kat and got really mad at her, saying like he was paying for her drinks. And
so somebody else was in the other half.
Right.
And security told me to move over. Mm-hmm. So I moved over and bumped into him and like grabbed my arm, which at that point my Aries was out, and I was like, excuse me. And, you know, and he's like, well, can you move over? And I said, no, we were just told by security to stay in our lane, essentially. And he goes, well, if you could move over, that'd be great regardless. He goes, because I'm paying for your drinks. To which I turned around, which I was really proud of, because usually I'm pretty reactive, which I was still pretty reactive. But I turned around to Krystal, and I was like, do you know what this guy just said to me? I told her. We left, obviously, because I was upset. Like, I was mad. And boo on me, I did flip him off before we left. That was my bad. And I openly discussed this on Twitter. I discussed it on Twitter too, because yes, this is an Aries problem for me. I can be very reactive. I'm trying to find my namaste mode. I was like,
are you just saying
that be fine?
It doesn't matter how many crystals you had, it wouldn't have worked?
Oh my god. No, you get in my personal bubble, we gonna have some issues. Yeah. It was like Universal all over again. Yeah. It's like, gosh, the zombies. But anyway, we walked down to the bathroom, and going down towards the bathroom, there's like this creepy wall of faces, and it was really weird. It was just random faces.
Floating faces.
It was floating. It was wallpaper of faces. It was bizarre to me. So like, we're already disoriented as it is, just looking at the wallpaper. We didn't have much to drink, so like, we weren't drunk at all by any means. No. But I was just mad. We went to the bathroom. We're walking back, to get out of the club, and Krystal like slowly turns around, and she does like the creepy like head turn, and Desmeon and goes, "I'm about to do something, and I need you to trust me." And I was like, "Please don't kill anybody!" I was like, "No."
Oh, I'm dead.
Funny. I told Krystal it literally would have been one of those episodes, or one of those scenes in Exorcism where like she spins her head all the way around. That's literally what it felt like. I was like, okay, my Irish fire is out now. We're just gonna walk. So I just followed her back, and I'll let her discuss that because that was wow.
Well, so there's the point of and the reason I want to talk about this is Kat, is fire. She's a fire sign, clearly, and it doesn't matter if she was just covered in head to toe with crystals. It was not going to help, okay? She was upset. Somebody grabbed her.
Fire was burning.
Kind of a violent yank, and so I'm an earth sign. I am a Taurus. I'm one of the kinds of people that you can push, and people tend to think I'm a pushover sometimes because they like push my buttons, and then I still don't move. I'm still just standing there. So they think that like either I'm weak or I just don't care, and they can just keep doing it. So, but I'm also I'm a very methodical thinker. I'm a deep thinker, and so when something happens, I'm gonna have to go away and think about it before I respond. I'm not a reactor, right? Which is clearly the difference between an earth sign and a fire sign. Fire is going blaze. And fire blazed that night. Yeah.
Fire. He's lucky fire didn't burn. Fire didn't burn. I'm just saying.
So for this person to basically accuse Kat of us mooching off of him, I was like, for the first time in my life, and it was probably because I was surrounded by my high school friends, right? Because other than this person, this one person I didn't know, but other people were my high school friends. For the first time in my life, I used the card of, do you know who I am?
It was so good.
What makes you think I need your money, boo-boo? That's what I told him. I was offended. So anyway, I went back and I did have a little chat with him, clearly after my head turned around like the Exorcist. Also though, as a Taurus earth sign, I don't like my friends hurt, and I felt responsible for Kat because she was around friends that I knew from high school. Clearly this one person that did it, I didn't know them. But I don't let, I'm going to tie this back into crystals and light work and healing. I did not cuss him out. Aries flipped him off. I didn't flip him off. But
I'm still proud of it. I'm still proud of it.
Big on communication. I did want to assert what happened was not appropriate, and it was not okay, and that if my drinks were not covered, I would surely pay for them. I did go and double check. The drinks were covered on the house. And so I had to go back and give my 2 cents. I was not going to walk away with him thinking that he could physically assault my friend, and B, talk to us like that, because I'm not a moocher. Especially as a light worker, I felt like my job was to let him know the light, which was, you're not in the right, and you don't have a
I was
clue.
not a light worker that time.
You don't know what you're talking about, boo-boo, so you need to back off and be chill.
Oh.
And here's what's interesting, though, about between Kat and my energy. He yanked Kat by the arm, did not choose to yank me. If he would have yanked me, boo, some would have been going down, okay? You do not want to yank me, okay? Don't think you're a boy that can yank girls around, because let me tell you what's going to happen, okay? You would have seen my face on the News 4, okay? Because I would have thrown somebody around, because you don't put your hands on people. That is not okay. But when I went up to him and had a very stern conversation, probably looking like the Exorcist still, I'm not gonna lie,
like,
I can tend to be a little intimidating when I get ran over. You know what I'm saying? I happened to have my 5-inch heels on that night, made me a little bit taller, and he got so scared of me, he literally was like, well, why don't you guys stay and hang out longer? And I was like, you just told Kat to leave and get out of his space.
No.
Anyway, my point is don't let people walk on you. Don't let people talk down to you. And absolutely never let people assault you or people that you care about, ever. And that was why I had to go.
And if you speak out about it...
Oh, he wasn't expecting me to come back to say something.
Yeah.
He wasn't expecting us for me. Well, and Kat was mad. She's like, I can't say anything to him. I have to stand back because my Aries might blaze. And I was like, please don't blaze. I'm Earth, and I'll have to pour dirt on you to put out the fire. And just go.
I was good. I was good. I was very proud of myself.
Except when I came back, I mean, apparently I've always been who I am. Sometimes I like to say, like, in the past, I'm like, oh no, I'm I've never been like all this, big personality. But looking back, clearly, like, my high school friends told Kat, they're like, she hasn't changed. She's still the same.
Yeah.
Krystal is the same person. She'll always be Krystal. But when I walked back, because all of my friends knew what had happened. That they had, like, he had grabbed Kat and, like, assaulted her and yanked her, They all shut up. None of my friends said a word.
Silent as the grave.
They know about the YouTube channel. They know I'm outspoken. They know I'm not afraid to say how I feel. And all of them, their eyes were like this big, and they just stood back, and they're like, oh, crap, Krystal's coming back. No one knew what to say, and literally nobody even backed that guy up. They were all like, go ahead, just go ahead. Go ahead, get it.
They cleared the way for you.
Anyway, you just have
your energy was like...
I mean, I don't use that, a lot, but I don't like people that abuse other people verbally, physically, emotionally. It's not okay. It's absolutely not appropriate. And if it ever happens in front of me, even if you were a stranger to me and I were to see you experience something, I'm going to be the first person to take up for you. It's absolutely not appropriate. And so, he wasn't expecting me to come back. So I hope he enjoyed my energy. I was waiting for him.
I tweeted about it that night, too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I got back. My Aries fire was like...
Well,
let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you what I think.
You don't yank people. You don't touch people. You don't, especially Vietnam. You don't get physical with people. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's end this stream on a positive note, which is take up for people, right? When you see that something's wrong, don't just walk by and ignore it. And the next thing is light always wins. And honest to God, you guys really need to go try some crystals because I freaking love them. And they're my favorite, like, I love makeup, clearly, like, probably my biggest budget, personally, goes to makeup. But the next thing is crystals, for sure.
There's a question here. It says, do you think crystal antennas really work for spirit box?
Do I think what?
Crystal antennas really work for spirit boxes.
Oh, are we kind of talking about, what's that box that one guy makes on YouTube? What's his name?
Looks like they said somebody built an antenna with a coil and a crystal to use.
Yeah, what's
with
that
their
guy? It's that TV. It's that TV box with the guitar reverberator. What's that YouTuber?
The Wonder? Was it the one?
The Wonder Box. Yeah.
Was it the Wonder Box?
I think so.
Yeah.
He has one that he built, and I think he with crystals and copper antenna, and he's charging like, well, at the time I haven't checked, nor am I going to for that matter, because I am over that. Okay, but I think he was charging like $2,000 or $2,200 for the same exact box that Rob built us.
Yeah.
$2,200, Kat.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No, that's Satan. Satan's living in that box. And that's why you're paying $2,200 for it. Okay. Anyway, do I think it works? I mean, copper rods. I own 2 sets of dowsing rods that are copper. Okay. That's clearly they can manipulate the copper. I believe in dowsing rods. I love to use them. I think that they're fun. I think they're just kind of a throwback old school instrument to use. I do think the copper works. Do I think the crystals help? Well, clearly crystals manifest energy, right? They help amplify it. So it depends on what kind of crystal it is, in my opinion. I would need to know the knowledge behind it. Do I think a Frank box is worth $2,200 because of a crystal and copper wire? No. I've said that before. Don't blow your money on that. Don't do it. Call Rob.
I think they're saying Steve Huff.
Yeah.
Huff Paranormal.
Ugh, that's a name I haven't wanted to hear in a while. But anyway.
Somebody said he's a twat. Somebody said that.
I'm dead. Funny. I am deceased again. Oh my god.
I never hear that word. That's awesome.
Anyways, I'm dead.
Anyway.
Okay. Is he selling them still? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. Do I care? Not really, to be honest. After I found out about that box being built, and I couldn't believe the ridiculous amount of money that he was charging for it, I called Rob, and Rob was like, oh, girl, I got you. I'm going to build you one. And he did amazing. But now Bill Chappell clearly took that invention and flipped it on its head. And recreated one that Ghost Adventures has used several times, and it almost has like a digital touch screen with like a computer kind of attached to it, some sort of touch screen. Now that one, girl, I would pay $2,000 for, because Bill Chappell's amazing. I've been waiting for him to mass produce those, but I think that is something that he created specifically for Ghost Adventures. So anyway, just don't pay $2,000 for it. Now, Bill Chappell, most reputable engineer. Gary Gawka is amazing. Always support them. Other engineers that try to screw people financially, I don't support. Sorry, I don't support it.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of investigators like to invest money in their gear, which so do we. But I don't agree with screwing the community. I don't agree with it. And a lot of people got mad at me for criticizing the Huff box or the Wonder box, whatever it was called. And a lot of people accused me of claiming it wasn't functional and it wasn't real. I never said that. I never said that it couldn't do its job. What I said was it shouldn't be, it shouldn't cost a third of a $10,000 car or whatever. You know what I mean? Like $2,500. There was one he had for sale for $4,500. And it was like, I think that one was, I don't know. Anyway, don't do it. Don't waste your money. That's crazy. And that's why I'm so glad Rob started engineering stuff, because he doesn't want to screw people. Rob's amazing.
Love Rob.
Ugh, love Rob. He's going to hopefully be making an appearance throughout season 1 and 2.
Woo!
Yeah.
Can't wait.
He's going to be also building us special equipment for GGD. So, anyway, I feel like that's a really great note to end, don't you think? I feel like that's a good note.
I do.
Everybody be chill. Everybody don't let people abuse people. Go buy yourself some crystals.
Go meditate.
Namaste. Okay. Drink some coffee right here. Okay. What's some other advice we can give?
I don't know. Don't be an Aries.
Don't be a fire sign and blaze. Which is funny because all of my mother is a Sagittarius too. She's a fire sign, and Kat's mom is a fire sign. Kat is a fire sign. All of my closest friends are fire signs. I love fire signs because they are so like sometimes I need that oomph, as Earth. So anyway, be chill. Everybody please subscribe to our Facebook pages. Oh, one more thing. I announced this last night. I just want to talk about it one more time. I will start doing giveaways starting next week on my pre-recorded streams on YouTube only. On Fridays only. We're going to have giveaways weekly, okay? So the only requirement is you have to obviously watch the video for when I talk about the giveaway. You have to subscribe to the channel. You have to like the video and comment if you want to be entered in the giveaway. And the way we will do it is, I think that I will give until that following Monday to choose winners. So basically people will have till Sunday night midnight to enter, and then I will choose, me and Kat will choose a couple winners or whatever every week, and then we will contact you. We will like leave you a comment on the YouTube channel wherever you commented, and then you'll have to send our admin an email, and then we will get stuff shipped out to you. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, so excited.
Yeah, so we're going to do pre-recorded streams. Friday, Saturday are always our live streams. And then I think on Mondays and Wednesdays, I will be on Twitch only doing makeup chats, like get ready with me, but I will probably do paranormal chats too while I'm doing get ready with me videos. So anyway, we got to get back on track here, and I have a lot of post-production to do. Oh my God, I wish you and Chanel lived here.
Yep, me too.
Oh, girl. Gotta get you guys out here. I know.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to our channel. Please like our video. Make sure you're following us all on social media, which you can find in the box below. And as always, thank you for watching, and we will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye guys.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light